you for. So let me share. Can you see my slide?
Yes, we can.
Okay, let me just. Nice thing.
We are only seeing your head, but not the slide.
My head.
Okay, yes, it's
Hi.
showing. Showing now, it's showing now.
What can you see now?
Yeah, we can see now. We are seeing LLM visualization.
Can you see the notes?
Yes, yes.
Okay, it's not supposed to show. Sorry, I'm using a different. Just a moment. Okay, so let me use this slide. I'm just to use this. How about now?
It's okay.
Okay, so sorry about that. Good afternoon, everyone. As mentioned, my name is Joseph David. It's nice to be back. I think I think I attended the last one. I think 2024 or 5, I'm not sure, in Calabar, 6 Calabar. So it's nice to be back here. I think I can see few familiar faces from the 6 Calabar, which are is organizing that. It's nice. Mr. Augusti, I think Rhoda participated in 6 Calabar, so one of the familiar faces. Yeah. So I didn't get that.
We are familiar with you too.
Yeah,
She's saying
so
she's familiar with you.
yeah, nice to see you guys again. So I
Thank
hope
you.
you're enjoying the session yesterday and today. I think I joined briefly. Forgotten, is it Mr. Anson? Um, Scrapping Wikipedia articles. So this session I'll be handling LLM visualization. So basically, we'll focus on knowledge graphs and topic evolution charts. So as I mentioned in my communication with Rhoda, I'll be using R. I think the last presenter I used Python, I think. And instead of VS Code, I'll be using RStudio IDE. So I think you can also use the VS Code, I think. So I don't know if I shared a setup guide yesterday with Mr. Augustine. I don't know if it was shared with you. So I think the guide.
Yes,
Yeah.
I shared it with everybody, but I'm not sure they've exhausted the instruction there.
Okay.
So
So
if you don't mind, you can just take them through. And
okay. So
just to mention, we also have online participants if you can also carry them along too.
okay, that's fine. So in the setup guide I shared, I indicated I'll be using R and R Studio, R version 4.1 or newer version. I think there's a guide on how to. So for all the script I used for the session, I shipped everything to a GitHub repository. I think maybe I should share the link here. I think if it's fine, or maybe it's so in the guide. You can just download a zip file, and if you are using RStudio IDE as well, just just click on the projects file. It will open the entire folder with the relevant files. So I also shared it in my Google Drive. So for those who are unable to download from GitHub, you can always access it from Google Drive. So I also mentioned the need for LLM for model because I use Olama. I don't know if you're familiar with Olama. I use Olama So it's about 2 gig the size. Or if you download the file I shared, you don't need to download because I already catch everything. I saved the output so as a cache, so you don't need to. So you can still follow through, you can still run everything without downloading, but at least to replicate the results you will need to download Olama. And I used what's it called? Is it Llama 3.2, 3.12, I guess? Yeah, 3.12. So I think is a smaller version. You can use 3.1. I think yes. So I think that's that for a background. So LLM visualization. So before now, I don't know. I think I checked the profile of the participants. Most are coming from is it computer science. So before now, perhaps let me just assume that maybe we don't have a background information about text analysis. Before now, we all assume that when you talk about data, what comes to your mind is numeric data, maybe GDP growth, inflation rate, poverty rate, anything have to do with numeric data. But I think from maybe yesterday, today, you'll be able to, you've introduced you text, how you can able to extract information from that. So text as data. But then so you have a text, how do you analyze it? So what we all know about data analysis, right? Maybe you have basically maybe frequency, uh, frequency, uh, sorry, descriptive analysis, for instance, talk about the mean, median, the mode, the what is the name, standard deviation, and what have you. So, but then in text analysis, or we also call it text mining or NLP, natural language processing, which I think will be introduced along the next few days, right? I don't know if that's been introduced already. So text is a automated process of converting large volumes of unstructured text. So maybe your passage, your newspapers, Wikipedia articles, for instance, you structure them into actionable data. So for instance, you have a newspaper article. So you can make inference from that. You can pick an article on corruption in Nigeria and you can make many, you can maybe how frequent is it in the word you use, what's the relationship between the actors and actions in the articles. Yeah, so you can also perform sentiment analysis. So article on, let's say Nigeria, for instance, an article on Nigeria, or let's say article on human rights in Nigeria. So you can conduct a sentiment analysis. How positive is it? Instead of reading hundreds of pages, for instance, you can conduct a sentiment analysis, which is a technique in text analysis or text mining. So you can determine whether the article is positive or negative, right, or neutral. So you can also conduct maybe topic modeling, which I'm going to do, I think, this afternoon, and knowledge graph. So what's the relationship between individuals that have been mentioned and entities that have been mentioned in the article? How do they relate? So yes. So let's yeah, text analysis just means treating documents as data, basically data, deviating from the norm, assuming that data have to be numeric values. So you count, it takes become counts or structures, and then analyze them that in typical other data sets. The reason why, okay, the introduction of, or should I say, the text analysis is at the backdrop of let's say social media. So relevant of social media, you have large information. So, but you have information, most of us spend substantial time on social media, for instance, from LinkedIn to Facebook, to X or Twitter to Blue Sky, I think also TikTok and YouTube. So there's a lot of information there. Uh, then how do we make use of it? So that was how we came about text analysis. So, for instance, you have a tweet by Donald Trump, for instance, you can conduct a sentiment analysis on it. So you can pull out tweet from let's say 20 for his first administration, you can just juggle up all his tweets, then maybe conduct sentiment analysis or a topic modeling. What are the major themes in his tweet over from 2017 to the end of his first administration, for instance. So you can also pick, yeah. So you have a lot of information online. How do you deal with it? That's how we come about text analysis. So in text analysis, we'll be doing either collecting, preparing, representing, analyzing, or showing. So in terms of collecting, you're either collecting articles, speech, tweets. Yes, you're either collecting this. You're either collecting Wikipedia articles, collecting tweets, collecting speeches, collecting newspaper reportings, and preparing. You're either splitting. You have a long sentence. You're either splitting it to maybe words, splitting, or you are tokenizing it. So either unigram, bigram, or trigram, or n dash gram. So either you have a last sentence, you are splitting to, you have a sentence like, I love six Nigerians. So you can split it to four words. You speak it as unigram, each row. So I guess you understand, you know what is row and column. So you have a row, you have a long sentence, I love six Nigerians. Just split it or you tokenize it to four rows. The first row will be I, the second row will be love, the third row will be six, and the fourth row will be Nigerian. So you prepare and yeah, you process the data. Or you can also represent as after splitting, for instance, you want to represent how often is this word in a dark document that you broke down, that you tokenize after preparing. So what is a pair? How are they related? Maybe you can construct a table. Maybe you can also analyze the texts, maybe modeling, network analysis, sentiment analysis, and then you display it as either graphs, table, or charts. So how does LLM come into play? So how do we have language model? How does it come into play in text analysis? So we've been using text analysis before. We've been doing text analysis actually before, let's say LLM coming. But then LLM, it introduced an interesting, um, is an interesting innovation to text mining. So yeah, the model enters through 2 points. So you can read the data and return structured that counting cannot produce. So for instance, when you're using a typical or classical knowledge graph, you just have you have a sentence. You have, for instance, I love six Nigerian. So if you are using classical knowledge, if you are designing a classical knowledge, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm with you.
Yeah. So if you are designing a classical knowledge graph, you just have it will be linked together. You have arrows showing that okay, high is related to love, related to six, sorry, related to Nigerian. But then it doesn't make much sense, right? So, but then you have language model, you're able to give it, depending on the prompts you give to the language model, you're able to, okay, link it. How does this and the how the nature of relationship, that's how this comes. Also, with regards to topic modeling also, instead of having, you can allow the model can determine themes before in theme in, so for topic model, you have different themes. You have different words. So how do you come up with a word that encapsulate or that capture the entire theme of that particular topic? So you can also use language model for that. So what we're doing today in the next few minutes, I think hours, is knowledge graph and themes. So we'll pick a Wikipedia article. So I think I'll be using the the Nigerian Civil War or the Biafra War Wikipedia articles. So we're picking it, the documents, then we'll strip it down to networks. So things, its names. So we're doing two things. So we're using the classical knowledge graph and we'll use the model assisted knowledge graph. So in the classical or counting, you have a occurrence of words that which word share a sentence together, which word is linked to which word. Uh, yeah, so if you have the documents, if you check the folder rebuild, you see the graph already built. So I think that's that. So for the model, it will depend on the schema and and prompt to give to the model will be determine what are the things or the nodes and how are they related. So yes, how are they related? So in terms of topic modeling, we'll be considering themes over time. So the same article, the Nigerian Civil War or Biafra War, we'll pick it and we'll, we'll use the version because for topic modeling, you need a time axis. So for instance, I think I mentioned about Donald Trump's first administration, the tweets over the years. So you need yeah, you need the year axis or you need the time axis. So you can't just pick like a static Wikipedia page. So what we'll be doing instead, we'll use the versions over the years. So from 2005 today to 2025. Yes. So how has it changed? Because every year there used to be changes in Wikipedia articles. So what are the words? What are the things that were included? What were missing? How did they change over the years? Yes. So I think about the data, why is it the same article? I wanted to use a different data for the topic model, but then I checked the schedule and it seems to be Wikipedia based. So that's why I think I just decided to use Wikipedia article for both analysis. Yeah, so using the Civil War, as I mentioned, fetched from Wikipedia, it's a long, dense document article with people, individuals, organizations. So we'll be using the article to develop a knowledge graph. Yeah, so the first one will be asking the question, what does the article say and how does the things in the article connect? So for instance, how does Ojukwu connect to Biafra, for instance? How does Gowon connect to yes, entities, named entities in the document? How do they connect? How do they relate to objects or subjects in an article? So the other one will be focusing on still the same article, but then the versions over the years. So I think the first lesson of the day is uh, before determining, okay, which model are you using, we ensure that the data we are using match the question we want to ask. So for instance, if I want to ask a question about um, the relationship in an article, I don't need a topic model because topic model have to do with the evolutions of certain themes over the years. So you understand the question you're answering and they're able to tailor it to the approach you are using. So we'll start with knowledge graph. So knowledge graph. So knowledge graph is a network of things that a text or document names
You
and
there?
how they are connected. Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Am
yes,
I
we can
connected?
hear you, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So knowledge graph is a network of the things in a text or a document and how they are related. So I think, as I mentioned, you have a Wikipedia page article on the Nigerian Civil War. You'll be asking questions. Okay, what you'll be doing in knowledge graph is how does okay, this doesn't if you're using a model, you have schema actually, so that will determine the relationship. But then basically what you're asking is how are they related? How does an entity in an article relate to certain subjects in an article? So in knowledge graph, you have nodes and edges. So nodes are the entities. You have the people, the places, organizations, or events, and the edges are the relationships. So you have a tiny graph. So I think maybe I should share this. Just a moment. So I want to share so you can understand where we are going. Let's documents. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, so So these cycles, we call them the nodes, and the lines are the edges. So this is the classical knowledge graph, and this is what you have when you use models. So you see the cycle are entities, individuals. So for instance, you have Yakubu Gowon here. Nigeria is also let's say is an entity or an object. So you see this line, um that's the edges. So it's showing the nature of connections between these. So yeah, so edges are the relationship between them basically. So okay, in the sentence you have Ojukwu led Biafra, so it shows the relationship. So there are three parts in you have the subject, you have the relation, and you have the object. So the edges determine the nature of relation, whether it's going, is it, yeah, based on the R.
So you said
And these three,
there are three, you said subjects, edges, and what?
you have subject, you have relation, and you have objects.
Okay,
The
subject,
notes,
relation, and object. Okay.
yes. So
So sorry,
why is
what's
this?
the relation signal? Is it the thread? Is it the
Yes,
thread?
The
yes,
lines, the lines,
The
the lines.
lines. Okay. The lines.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So why is knowledge graph useful? So typically human being we read linear. So but a graph show the whole structure at once. So for instance, I love six. That's just a sentence in a document or an article. When you have a voluminous article, maybe running to hundreds of pages. So a knowledge graph will show you how they are related. So how does six relate to love? How does the participant relate to six? So you have like a pictorial illustration how all these are related. So you can see things at the center without reading hundreds of pages. So it is used to influence policy documents. It's used to also what's the name? It's also used for fraud detection.
Forensic.
Yes, yes. So well, as I mentioned, we're using two methods. For the first method, you have to with counting words. So just basically you are stripping down a sentence you are tokenizing a sentence into unigrams, n minus n dash grams, the number of we are using tokens actually. Tokenizing them, we are using
Tokens.
unigrams. So is a word per. So we can check how they are connected. It doesn't give
Sorry,
much
please. I want to get a word per what?
a word per row. So you are tokenizing by unigram. So one word per row.
One word per row. Okay.
So you have a sentence, I love six Nigerian, you strip it down to, instead of having one row, you have four rows. Instead of having I love six Nigerian, you end up having hi as a first row, second row, love, third row, six, fourth row is it, yes, Nigerian. So you're breaking down a sentence into, uh, into uh, yes, into words. Why is this useful? So the reason why we split down words or we tokenize or we split is for us to claim, for instance. So uh, when you claim, there's some words that doesn't have any meaning to an analysis. For instance, there's what we call stop words. So what are stop word? Stop word are typical words that you find in everyday conversation. It doesn't change or affect analysis. For instance, I, me, you, they, us, they are meaningless. So you have to strip them down, you have to remove them. So that's why you have to tokenize, you have to break them, you have to split. So after splitting an article's sentence into words, that's a part of cleaning or pre-processing. You drop D off and which has top word. They appear in every cardinal signal. So then you pair them. You pair words. How are they related in a sentence? Before splitting, actually, you have to give it an ID so that it can be easy to pair them. Like if you
Sorry,
if
give
you
it
have
what?
you have to
Give
give it
it
an
an
ID. Yes. So for instance, a sentence I love six Nigerian. When you are breaking them down, you ensure that they have the same ID to indicate that they are coming from the same sentence so that linking there will be easy. So the pair. After that, we draw our graph. So the words that were being stripped down become the nodes, the pairs becomes the edges. So it shows, so the thicker the edges, the more often they appear. We can, okay, so let me show this. So I think this is a code.
Please, can you go over that place again from the ID point? Thank you.
Yes, so I see when you are splitting. Okay, so let me just explain it from here. You have a sentence, which I just picked, I love six Nigerian, is from a document on an article. So we know that this is a sentence. They are coming from the same sentence. But before you strip it down to unigrams, you give it an ID. So for instance, you have, I love six Nigerian. Maybe the ID will be one. I am a Nigerian. And
Sorry,
that
sorry,
sentence.
Sir Joseph, sorry, sir. Please, maybe you can open the image that you are trying to explain to them because they are trying to relate the illustration with the graph. No, the image is in the file sent to you. That link I sent to you, that preview. So, sir, I don't
So,
know if you can open that image. Just open that image and they can relate the illustration with the graph.
okay. Can you see
Yes,
my screen?
can you open? Yeah, you can see the screen, but can you open it?
So, so for instance, you have a sentence. I think this from the Wikipedia page. This from the Nigerian Civil War Wikipedia page. So the reason why support and united are linked is because they appear together in a sentence. So the reason why I mentioned that you have to give it an ID before you can create a knowledge graph, you ensure that they have the same ID. That's why you see supports and united are linked together. But because united, and you also have united and ethnic linked together as well. But you don't see direct link from support to ethnic because they don't appear together in a sentence. So that's why I mentioned that you need to indicate. I will show it briefly after, I'll show
I,
it briefly.
sir, sorry, sir. Yeah, I think the challenge is that if you open that graph, as in the image, sir, they will see
Mhm.
those words you are talking about. They are not seeing it.
Can you see
As
my
you know,
screen?
yes, you are seeing your screen, but click on the image. Let the image appear.
What am I showing? Sorry.
It's showing all of the image that
You
you
are
have.
just showing all the files, all the folders, kind
Oh,
of.
okay, okay, okay. Okay, sorry. I thought,
Yeah.
sorry, I thought, let me just see the entire screen. How about now?
Oh,
Uh-huh.
beautiful.
Yes, you understand better now.
So I thought this is what I was doing. So you see,
Okay.
this is a knowledge graph using the classical method to call it co-occurrence to just determine how words are co-occur in a sentence. And this is one that is knowledge, this is model assisted knowledge graph. So this shows the nature of relationships. So for instance, you see Nigeria, the arrow is pointing to Yakubu Gowon. So Nigeria was led by. So, so as I mentioned, you need, is it a triple? You have the objects or the entity, you have the relation, and you have the subject. So Yakubu Gowon is the entity, is the object. Nigeria is the subject, and was led is a relation. So how is Yakubu Gowon and Nigeria related? This is the pattern. This is the nature of relationship led. You also have similar you have with uh, Ojukwu. Biafra is the subject. Ojukwu is the object. Led by is the nature of relationship. I see the arrow. The arrow points from Biafra to Ojukwu, not from Ojukwu to Nigeria to Biafra or Ojukwu to. We don't see. That's how we know our model is right or we are doing the right thing. I don't need to read the whole of Wikipedia document to know that Yakubu Gowon did not lead Biafra because there is no any relationship there. I don't need to read the whole of Wikipedia article to know that Ojukwu did not lead Nigeria because there's no direct relation. You can see relationship from Biafra to
Sir,
Nigeria.
if I got okay, sir, if I got you correctly, from those of us in humanities, what you're
Mm-hmm,
saying is that the central node, that's the focal node, is the one in the
mm-hmm,
middle,
mm-hmm.
while the other object is the one at the surrounding edge. So it's like an internodal relationship they are trying to tell us. the relationship between words and their component. Is that the rule here, that the central node is in the middle, the focal node is in the middle?
Well, it's not
The
necessary.
central node being here the subject, I be the object. I don't know.
The
Please answer
subject.
that. And the subject. Yes. I think is related to
From
that
this,
thing.
So, okay,
yes, from this particular one now, the diagram is showing us that the central node is in the middle. Is that the way it operates? So when we see something
okay,
different,
but look at this other one at the top, bottom left. There's no
yes,
center.
I've
They
seen that.
have
That
only
one is
have
just a
two.
direct relationship, but this one,
Yeah.
there's an
So
internodal relationship here. We have
yes, it's an
different frames.
because they are related. These
Yes,
are
okay.
related. The reason I have this central node is you have Biafra linked to Nigeria because of the relationship there. If there is no relationship between Nigeria and Biafra, this relation will not be there. So we
Be
just
out.
have
Okay.
another one here. We just have Biafra to Ojukwu, have Gabon to Biafra, we have France to
Yeah,
Biafra.
I've gotten it. Thank you.
Yeah.
So maybe
So,
what I would do, maybe I will come and check
so
since
let me
enterprise.
go back here. So this this is a basic uh this is a
I will
basic
come.
code to set up a
Yeah,
knowledge
the
graph.
inside.
So are you getting it? Everybody, you have this file. And you have those online. You have this.
Sit down. Yeah.
Let me just
Sir, you
run
were saying
through it.
something. You said those online.
You have this file that Mr. Joseph is showing us.
Foul? I don't. We don't.
I've shared the link on WhatsApp since morning, and I still share it again now, so I will not drag it back.
We are sorry, sir.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So, Mr. Joseph, maybe you can mention what file this is, so that they can follow up from that folder.
Are you downloading from GitHub or from
I've
Google
downloaded
Drive?
already from the zip GitHub.
Okay, the
The
graphs
zip file.
are in pre-built folder, pre-built folder.
Previewed. Okay, this one is previewed. The image are previewed. So is this one also in previewed?
Can we proceed?
Okay, yes, sir. So the online is that in that code that I was shared, the slide is there, so you can also see the code there.
Yeah, so this was the main
Okay,
Don't
I've
worry,
seen
I'll
building.
look
it.
for you.
Okay, sir, you can continue.
So this is the main building block for a traditional knowledge graph. So as I mentioned, you first split the words down, you strip them to tokens, you tokenize them to unigrams, then you count the sentence, then you build a graph. So from one row per word, sentence by sentence. So the first is use honest tokens. Uh, you break down by sentence, you break it down to words. Then I mentioned setting an ID. So that's why using mutate. You're mutating, you're creating a sentence ID, which will link words that are coming from the same sentence. So you're using the row number to create a sentence. Then you're nesting the token by words. So what you just did is the first we have article as let's say Wikipedia article. You are creating a word. So you are nesting first. You have an article, but you first unnest the article as sentence. After unnesting a sentence, you create a sentence ID. After that, then you tokenize by word. You strip down by unigram. So after that, use anti-join. Is yes, anti-join. The reason why I'm using anti-join is I mentioned stop words. So stop words, there's a function that with likely words that doesn't have any meaning, that doesn't change or affect the final result, final outcome. So like we are filtering. So just like it's a filtering technique to move the stop word. So that's any row that's the get stop word is like a table, tidy table. So it have a list of row. So any row from our document or from our unnested tokens that's it match the stop word will be removed. So we have a a table, yeah, a data that doesn't include the stop words, and that's that with the cleaning aspect, just the light cleaning. So after then we count the pairs. So we already have we have the words as a what's it called? Data frame or yeah, data frame. Then we're creating a pair. We're using pairwise counts based using our sent ID to link them together. We are creating, yeah, to create a pair. After that, we build. We are building using gggraph. Gggraph is also built on uh, ggplot too. Yeah, okay. This is just like an illustration. I will go back to the code and demonstrate how it works. Just a building block. So what does counting tell us? In counting tell us that Ojukwu, Biafra. It didn't tell us how they're related. It didn't tell us that Biafra is a father of Ojukwu. Ojukwu is Ojukwu led. So there's nothing like relationship. So as I showed here, so this is how it appears using the traditional knowledge graph. You can see my screen, right?
Yes, you can see.
Yeah. So let me see if there's anything about Ojukwu. Unfortunately, I can't see it. Oh, okay. There's go on here. You see, this go on. This is a node, and I think I can link it to government. So you go on government. We don't know how they're related. You can also trace a link from go on to Nigeria or Nigeria, Biafra, but we don't know how they're related. So it makes little sense, and that's uh yeah. So then we go to the model assisted uh, knowledge graph. So if you are reading, you know that Ojukwu led Biafra. If you are reading, but then these are for current just tell us Ojukwu does Biafra. It doesn't name the relationship, how they are related, and that's a gap at hand. So if you are going to use if you are going to use the model, we need to specify our schema. So what is schema? Schema is a blank form. So uh, we all use AI chat box. So for instance, you can say who who led, no, how do I put it? Um, History of the Nigerian Civil War, for instance. It will bring you an unstructured text, similar to what you have in your Wikipedia page. Or we can really use that for analysis, right? So this is where schema comes. We need to specify what we want so that the output will be structured as like a data frame. We can easily use it for analysis. We don't need to start cleaning, tidying things up. So whatever we specify in our schema. So for instance, on the right hand side, okay, let me see this. Schema is the shape of the answer, okay, a black form for the model to fill in. So we specify maybe 3 rows. We want subject here, relation here, then we want object here. The model is the one filling it up, but we specify what we want. Instead of just having an unstructured text, we specify based on a schema. Without a schema, you ask a question and get the paragraph. Fine to read, how to use for analysis. You must pick it apart by hand, wording changes each time. So with the schema, you describe the field you want. The answer comes back as a table, ready to plot, same shape every time. So there are 3 building blocks in your schema. You have string, type underscore string, and you have type underscore object and type underscore array. For type underscore string, I think you also have type underscore numeric. So for type underscore string, it comes with a blank line of form. So here you have texts. Yeah. So type underscore objects, fields that belong together. Type underscore array, you can put type underscore string object, you can put it together like an array. It's like a, it's like a, the message. Okay. Yeah, an arrow. So for instance, let's say you want to set a relationship with three fields. You can have a type relation using type underscore object. We will specify the subjects. So maybe the entities to specify the nature of relationship, how they link. Then we specify the objects. Then we can put all of this in uh, as an array as well. Maybe you create an entity, create a relation. So if it returns nothing, that's why I use Llama 3.2 column, I think 3B. Sometimes you need to specify whatever your outcome will depend on where you specify your schema and how you specify your prompts, right? So the code schema plus prompts goes in, tables come out. You specify your schema. Are you saying something?
Okay. Okay, sir, can you like take it a little bit slower? Some persons are struggling to follow up with the pace.
Okay, so as a schema, you need to specify. We all use generative AI. So for instance, use ChatGPT, for instance. If you specify in ChatGPT the history of the Nigerian Civil War, for instance, you likely get similar article as you have in your Wikipedia page, right? So it's unstructured. You have paragraphs, we have paragraphs. But with schema, what we want to do is we want to analyze the data, want to determine the relationship, we want to plot a knowledge. Okay, so why do you have schema? If you specify in your AI chat box relationship, history of Nigerian Civil War, for instance, you will have paragraphs. You'll be reading, but we don't need that, right? We already have an article for Wikipedia that we want to analyze. What we need is something that is structured in table. So, for instance, you have a column with the objects or the entities. You have a column with the relation, we have a column with a subject. So something that is ready to use. We don't need to start cleaning, tidying things up. So that's why we have schema. If you don't specify schema, you tell the model, you give a prompt, you get paragraphs. You have to start going over, cleaning to use it, and you might end up missing, and you might end up getting different results as you will know. You use AI, for instance. Yeah, so if you input a question, the same prompt in ChatGPT, no, not prompt, prompts, I think prompts, you might end up getting this similar response. It happens a lot. Maybe there's added information, maybe the way you've been discussing, or based on your previous usage, the outcome, the output might be different. So that's why you need to specify the schema you get. Yes, you get a relationship, a structured output. So that's what I was explaining in this slide. So this slide is like a building block of your schema plus prompt. So we're using Olama. You can use Anthropic. You can use that's Cloudera model. You can use ChatGPT model. But yeah, I'm using Olama because it's free to use. You don't need a premium version. You don't need an API call for it. All you just need to do is download Olama in your machine. You do everything. Everything is in local. It's in your machine, in your laptop. But you need an internet connection to call it. So, but I'm using uh, Llama 3.2 column 3B. It's faster. I initially used 3.1, but it slows things down. And if you have a bigger GPU, you have faster system, you can use Llama 3.1, right? So first, you set the chart or Llama, specify the model you are using. Because, okay, even though you're using Olama, right, there are several models. As I mentioned, there's Llama 3.1. If you're using chat underscore Anthropic, if you're using Anthropic, Cloudera, right? So there's Fable, I forgot the name of the other one. Yeah, so that's where you specify the name of the model. But you have to install the model I indicated that in the setup. You have to install it, the model itself. It's not enough that you download Olama in your machine. You have to also install the model. You use terminal. That you don't do that in RStudio ID. You do that in your system, your terminal. I specify that in the setup, right? So after connecting to the model, running in your own machine, the next one is to read the article in passage. So the results, that's what we're coming at. So we already have charts, we already call the model, but we need chart structures. This paste here is uh, the prompts, right? We're specifying the prompt is every entity named in a name, comma, passage. So anything what we are giving is we are giving the model a passage, an article, which is not structured, as if after downloading our article, after after scraping our article from Wikipedia, pull it out, we put it into the model. Then we ask the model based on our schema was specified. Okay, hey, Llama 3.2, look at these passages we have. Every main entity is there, specify the object, the relation, and the subject. So, for instance, you have an article, you're able to specify, and then you return out a structured document. So at the end, what we get is we have entities, we have relation, both as table, which you can use for our analysis. Models call as flow, so the scripts, because model is I already have the output in the folder I shared, so we don't need to go through history. Yeah. So the key idea of the prompt, the schema fix the shape, or is the prompt that decides what goes in. You specify your schema, right? But whatever your output will be, how well you specify your prompt. We all use AI, right? How well you get a result, depending on how you specify your prompt. So for instance, I can say the history of Nigerian Civil War. You get a different, what kind of detail I specify, hey, ChatGPT, I need the history of the Nigerian Civil War, starting from uh, what predates the crisis, the before, after. Depending on how you specify your prompts, depending how you get the better answer. So the same prompt, you can't use the same prompt. So if I'm working on an article on Nigerian Civil War, you can't use that article on a Wikipedia article for Nigerian. You can't use that article on the Nigerian general election because we have different relation, different. So you can't use the same prompt for different articles or different documents. So for instance, you have the article on Nigerian Civil War. You'll be asking who led, what we are interested in is who led which side. So who led the Nigerian side, who led the Biafra side, which region were involved, who won, who lost, what were the predating issues, what issue, which issues, what are the causing issue, what are the triggers, how did the crisis end, who mediated, who supplied what, who supported what, and which event happened where, who were killed, the casualties. Those are what I'm interested in. But in an article that have to do with Nigerian general election, for instance, you're interested in which party is which party, who won which votes, who carried which state, who organized what, who supported who, and who, yeah, those are interesting. You can't use the same prompts for different articles or documents.
Okay.
So,
So, Mr. Joseph, can I just come in a little
mhm.
for our online participants? Let me just give you a quick download of what we are doing. First of all, I would like to remind you, please, are we together? I'd like to remind you that what Mr. Joseph is trying to help us achieve today is called LLM Visualization, which is large language model. Are we together? So,
Yes.
based on the scheme that has been given to him, his emphasis is on some visualization, which include knowledge graph. So he has shown us so far different kind of knowledge graph. Are we together? So he has shown us the normal knowledge graph. He has shown us what each of those components means, the edge, and he has also shown us the large language or model assisted graph. So the two major graphs he has shown us. So he went on to show us how to build a model. Are we together? So it's, though he has not gone into the coding, because so far he's showing us how to build a model, and he helped us to understand that before you can build the full model, you must first of all have your data set. In fact, that will be the last thing I'll say. You build your schema. So your schema is a structure that helps the model to know how to think. Are we together? So you build your schema.
Mm-hmm.
After building your schema, then you feed the schema with a data set. Are we together? Now that data set
Mm-hmm.
is likely to be what you have downloaded from Wikipedia, and just the way you use your ChatGPT. You know, everything ChatGPT is giving to you is based on the data set it has in the past. You understand? So now Mr. Joseph was trying to give an instance of sir, I don't know if you can go back to your the last slide, the one before this one. Yeah, so he was trying to give an instance. Peradventure you build a model with the Nigerian Civil War article data set. I want to use the word data set. He calls it article, but let me just call it civil data set. So you build a model with the Nigerian Civil War data set, and you're going to be asking questions about the Nigerian general election. Will that model perform? Those online, will the
No.
model perform?
No.
No, no.
It will not. It will
No,
not.
it will not.
So, except you want it to be so rich, and that is why ChatGPT and the rest are advanced, because they have data set across different domains of knowledge. Are we together? And now
Yes.
it has also helped us to understand in the building of the schema that there are different models that you can use to build this your own model, more
Mm-hmm.
like an API. But what he is using amongst several others is your llama. Are we together?
Which
So
one is
he
Llama.
did not.
Olama or Lema?
Llama.
Yes, llama. Sorry, that's what he has used. He did not use ChatGPT. He did not use Anthropic. What he used is llama. Are we
Okay.
together? So that's what he has
Yes,
helped
sir.
us to. That's what he has helped us to achieve so far. So we can make progress,
Mm.
right?
Sorry, which one
So
is
Okay.
Lama? I want to understand that concept of Lama. Is it
okay,
L-E-M? Yeah.
LAMA,
L
LAMA.
I don't seem to get that one at all. The Lama something.
It
Which one
was
is
part of
Lem?
the. Um,
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't
I
want
think
us to
it's
stress.
no
Okay,
problem.
the slide before this one, the slide before this one, you will see it in that model. I don't want us to start taking Mr. Joseph backward. I just wanted to break it down a little. Mr.
No
Joseph, please, do you
problem.
mind going to the one slide backward, please, where you have the schema? Mm-hmm. Can you see it
Okay.
there? No, start forward a little. Can you see it there? Now,
Yes.
Okay.
This is the Lama.
yes, we are doing, there are 3 steps to what we want to achieve, or probably even more. So it's making us to
Mm.
understand that the first step is to identify the model you'll be using for the large language you want to build. So
Okay.
here
Mm-hmm.
you can see that chat here is to chat Olama. You will have used
Yes.
Yes.
chat GPT here. You will have used Anthropic here. Do you understand? You will have
Yes.
used Anthropic. You will have used anything. Maybe if you even have access to Cloud API, you will have used Cloud API here. But you chose to use this one. Do you understand?
Yes.
So now that you have identified the model you want to use for your large language, then you now build the schema, which is instruction 2.
Okay.
So that what is helping us to understand. So we are all on the same page now. So we've not started coding, it's just giving you background. So when we start doing it, you not start taking him backward and asking me, "Sir, why are we doing this? I'm confused, I'm lost, why are we this and that?"
Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much. Sir Joseph,
Welcome.
thank you.
Okay, so yeah, so uh maybe we check the output. So this last slide, I mentioned about, okay, this is where we get our outputs, and I mentioned about the prompts. But here, after getting your results, we know, I don't know if we have observed sometimes, even in the chat box, they used to put a what they call this? What's this legal term? Let's put caveats, right? That so model make mistakes. Try to ensure you verify it, right? So the same thing applies here. No matter how well we build our schema, right? It, the schema guarantees forms what we get back, right? But it doesn't guarantee that our output is the correct one. Right, even though in the schema or in the prompt you have to you may specify, or it's advisable to specify that it should focus on only the object or subject that are in the documents or in the passage that you are feeding into the model. But then you have to ensure that what is giving you is correct. So for instance, imagine if the schema coming back is that will coming back, you have object saying Buhari, then you have the relation telling you led, then you're now seeing subject Biafra. Know that the model is hallucinating. Is a wrong output. So before you plot, before you draw, before you draw your knowledge graph, you need to check your schema, your output, ensure that it is correct. So you just read each row against the articles, ensure that they are correct. That will be the article. Now it's not that general knowledge. Ensure that it is in the article. You can delete anyone that does not support the article. You just take a few minutes, 2 minutes or less, depending on the number of the relation that it returns. So why is this important? Because you can trust it because you've the model generated that and you also verified, right? So you can trust it. Uh, so I think I did an early run. The reason why I mentioned is that I did an early run using a different model. I think I used Nigerian general election model. So I end up getting something like no information, not mentioned in this passage. So what I did was to fine-tune the schema and the prompts. Then checking the output also ensured that we don't end up having, imagine you plot a knowledge map and you are seeing the edges saying Ojuku, no information, Nigeria. You know that's nonsense. It doesn't make any sense. So that's why you have to check it. Instead, you end up having outcome that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, a model produces a statement that reads perfectly well and is not in the text. That's why you indicate that you restrict to only the passage that it's a fluent writer before it's an accurate one. Tidy output is not evidence. So now I want to compare between both. We have same article, the Wikipedia, Nigerian Civil War. The first one, which I showed, maybe I should go back. So this is a co-occurrence, counting which words appear which times in a sentence. So we see it doesn't make more sense, right? So this is a co-occurrence. It is not strictly a knowledge graph because it doesn't actually give us the relation. So this is a model assisted knowledge graph. So we specify the schema, the subject, the relation, and the object. So these words, after plotting, this is what we get, right? So then let's compare between the two. So we have co-occurrence and we have reading with a model. So what the edges mean in the co-occurrence graph is that the words that share the same sentence. So I love six Nigerian. Love and six, you will see them, they are connected by edges, but it doesn't tell us more information. But using the model, we're able to determine the relation. How are they related? How does this thing relate to that thing? So the co-occurrence doesn't tell us the nature of relationship, also the direction of relationship rather. But with schema, we have the nature of relationship with the arrow showing us that Nigeria was led by Gowon during the war. We have another one going from Biafra to Ojukwu. No, from Ojukwu to Biafra, and that's order. So it shows us direction of relationship. So also edge label. We know the edge in the co-occurrence in this co-occurrence graph, there is no label in the edges. But here we have the label was led by. For this, there's no any label. We don't know how they are related. So that's also another difference between the co-occurrence and the model assisted knowledge map. So what the nodes typically do in the co-occurrence is the frequency of the words, but with the model assisted, we have that they are the people,
Hello,
organization.
sir. I
Yes,
don't know
I'm
if
with
you
you.
can ask anybody to explain what you just told them.
Okay.
Can
Can
anybody
anybody?
online explain this?
Okay, let me try, sir. Can I go?
Yes, yes.
All right. With what he explained, I understand that co-occurrence is like the raw material that has not been tampered with. Why the model is something you have verified. It's like the outputs. Is that what it is?
Okay, Mr. Joseph, do you think she's correct?
Where I won't say like, okay, so let me put it this way.
Okay,
So,
sorry, sir. Sorry to cut. I'm very sorry. I just want us to test the knowledge of all the participants. If she's not correct, you just say something. Then let's see if another person can say it right.
okay, can someone assist if that's the case?
Any other person can assist. Any other person?
Hello, sir. Mr. Joseph, sir.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Like what I understand in that concurrence and the model, the both of them, like that model, it looks for the relationship between the words. You get it? Like in
Mm-hmm.
its raw state.
Mm-hmm.
Then the model version, now they are all is like now we want to be specific, we want to focalize our attention now to from subject through the relation to the object. That's what I understand by
Yes,
it.
yes, that's right. That's right. That's correct.
Okay, okay. So let me add a little more to that. If you look at the concurrent knowledge graph, for me, sef, it's even looking more beautiful. But the beauty is not making any sense. It's just like a lady that is so beautiful but does not have sense. I'm sorry to say that. But if you look at the model assisted,
Please, you will use a man. Thank you.
okay, 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 okay. I'll say it's just like a very handsome guy with nice beards, but does not have sense. Okay, he has 6 packs. That's okay. So you see that concurrent knowledge guy is very beautiful, but it's difficult to interpret. Unlike the model knowledge graph, you can see the arrowhead. So the arrowhead in that, all of you understand what I mean by arrowhead, right? So the arrow, that triangle, the line and the triangle. Look at look at the arrowhead. So the arrowhead is showing direction. So the arrowhead in the model assistant knowledge graph is showing direction. So you realize that for Ojuku, you are not supposed to read from, I mean, sorry, from Gowon. You are not supposed to read from Gowon to Nigeria. Rather, you are supposed to read from Nigeria to Gowon. Are you seeing that? That is showing you how to interpret it. So Nigeria was led by Gowon, by Yakubu Gowon. But okay, we don't have do we have Yakubu Gowon in the concurrent? Do we have it? Concurrent.
Yeah, no. Huh?
Okay, let's look for something else that is in. Okay, we have go on in the concurrent. We have go on.
Yes.
And somehow, just that you might not see it, go on in the concurrent is still led to Nigeria, just that there is more obstruction. Are you seeing? The blue one is the concurrent. The blue one is the concurrent. Go on in concurrent is still connected to Nigeria, but there's some obstruction. But whichever way, even if there's no obstruction, you cannot, yes, yes, aside the obstruction, you cannot even tell what. Okay, let's take for instance Igbo in the concurrent. Look at Igbo in the concurrent at the top side. It's connected to government, right? What sense can we make out of this? How do you interpret this? It's difficult. We just know that there's a relationship, but we don't know what kind of relationship. But Mr. Joseph is trying to help us to understand that this model assisted knowledge graph gives more interpretation and meaning. Do you get it?
Yes,
By
sir.
the arrowhead, I'm saying that Mr. Joseph is helping us understand that the model assisted knowledge graph is more detailed than the concurrent knowledge graph. Why? Because of the arrowhead. I'm using literal words now. You understand? So so I think that helps everybody. Online participant. Online participant.
Yes, sir.
Yes, so that's good.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
so
very
much.
correct.
Sorry, sir.
So she makes it clear.
So, Mr. Joseph, over to you, sir.
Yeah. Yes, sir. I want to just comment quickly.
Okay.
Yes, I think when you speak up, we hear you very well. But yes, when
And
he speaks down. So we will
yeah,
not really get
sorry.
him the way we get you.
Uh, yeah, sorry. My voice is close to the speaker. Uh, I think is
Okay, so
Okay.
that's
how about how about now?
Yeah, better now, I guess. Better now, I think.
Okay, so uh so after building the knowledge graph, what next? So we just use one article, right, to develop a figure. But then the step we used, we can also replicate it at scale. So I don't know if anybody have seen a graph retrieval augmented generation with I think graph RAG, or anybody have worked on it too. I think there's a platform they call new4j.com. So you have this platform, they pull out multiple documents, information, you have YouTube transcripts, you have documents. So I mentioned something about fraud detection, right? So you can pull multiple documents. Instead of using one article on Nigerian Civil War, for instance, you can pull multiple documents, multiple articles, pull them together you generate multiple knowledge graph, right? So instead of maybe just looking at this, you can interact with with this, right? You'll be querying it as if you had, because just as you have like your ChatGPT, for instance. But here, you're asking question based on that document. So for instance, you can generate multiple knowledge graph. Then you can ask a question, okay, who led the Biafra war? The knowledge graph had already been developed. The relationship had already been determined based on the schema you've already specified. So you can interact with that. So this is like a building block which can be expanded at scale. So what we did is just we use one article, the model pulled out entities and relationship, which we drew. But tools like Neo4j, they put hundreds of documents, reports, pages, transcripts. The same extraction we did, but they merge it a database, into a database. So you stop looking at graph and start asking it question. And you start asking it question. You interact with the so instead of having just one plot, you have multiple plots, but it's stored in a database, you're able to ask this question. So before we go to topic management, I just showed this. Just go through this. You all have the sorry the folder, right? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
yes, sir. We do.
Okay, so I guess you have the folder. So if you open the folder, let me go back here. You
Is
click on
everybody
this
open the folder?
R folder, R R folder. So you don't need to click one after the other because you need to be setting the. Uh, wait, do you have R Studio and R installed in your system? Does anybody
Yes.
have that? Okay,
Yes. Yes.
so that's fine. So instead of clicking those R scripts, just click on projects, the projects file. 6 Nigeria 2026 LMVs underscore R. So you just click on it. You open an R program, which I think I have open. Let me close this. Are you able to open it?
Uh,
So
please let's pause a little for others to quickly follow. Is there anybody behind? It's opening. Those online.
Mr.
Okay, maybe we should
Augustine,
go to our R, right?
no, no,
Okay,
no, no.
press.
Mr.
Press. Yes.
See what I saw here now. After
This is the
I've
folder.
opened
Just
it.
look at
It
my screen. Look
says
at my screen. Look at my screen.
Adobe Acrobat Reader could not open 6 Nigeria
Oh
because
no.
it.
You don't
Have
have
you
it.
have you installed have you installed R Studio on your system?
Yes, I've installed it.
Then open it. Is it open right now?
Okay, I went to the one Mr. Joseph sent. I didn't.
I'm talking about the software. Have you installed the software RStudio?
Yes, it's in my download folder. Let me go to it.
Oh boy, you are not going to download it. If it's installed, you don't have business with download again. Oh my god.
So you don't need to open
Okay,
the
maybe
R
you can
folder.
follow up. Is there
Just
anybody online that is also following up? Daniel, are you also trying to open the script? Osakbolo, are you trying to open the
Yes,
script?
I've
RStudio.
opened
Yes,
mine.
yes.
I've opened
Trying to
already.
open.
Okay, good.
I've opened
I'm
mine
with
too.
you.
Okay.
so
Then no
you're
problem.
not opening the file in the R folder. You're opening this. You can see my screen. This is what you're opening. These are R projects. The reason why I did this is to mitigate the issue of creating pointing because some people download to their download folder, some to document. So to avoid errors, so you have when you just click on this, everything will be pointed to this folder. You have it as a project. So when you click this, you have all the folders here, all the folders which are in that folder. So maybe for a starter, you open the R folder from RStudio from the ID, then you click 00 setup. So you can either run everything, both the topic model and uh, what's the name? You can either run both the topic model and knowledge graph by just clicking on this R file, this run all. But I won't do that, so don't confuse yourself. So we're starting with 00 startup setup.r. So here, since we're using one package across the script, it's a good what is it called practice to specify. You have a separate scripts for your uh for your packages.
This
You
one.
specify your working directory and whatever thing you are setting, which will be used across the other scripts. So this is what we did here, right? So this one just specify, okay, what's our
Please, I don't know if you can confirm if other persons have also opened.
have we opened this?
Huh? Have you joined in?
Woke up one Sunday morning, told my daddy I'm leaving home, going off to the city.
Can I continue? Can we proceed?
Hold on, please.
Follow the instructions. Yeah.
I'm on R. What should I do next? I just opened the studio.
So where are you?
Okay.
I just opened the
Okay.
studio. So what should
Okay.
I do?
If you open the studio, can you see my screen?
Yes. New file. Yes.
Go to open projects.
Open project. Okay.
Then in the open project, you go to wherever you see the folder you save your after downloading. Then you locate this.
What I have here is new projects on my R studio.
Not news project.
Or do you mean the documents you sent?
You're already in our studio, right?
Yes, I'm already on R studio. What I have here is new projects.
Click
That's the
on
option I
file.
have.
No, scroll down. You see open projects.
Okay, I think it just popped up. No, what I have is your work space, new space. Okay, maybe it's the network.
No,
Preparing projects now.
you don't need internet for that. Click on file,
I don't
then go
need
to
internet.
Please don't do what you can do. We have gotten to that place already. He's just putting those to control.
What I have is different. The interface I have.
You have new projects. Just go to the folder you downloaded. Just click on this. If you already have it installed, if you already installed R&R Studio,
Yes.
just click on it and open the project.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. I think. Either way, one.
Can we continue?
I think find a way to. I think I know what happened. Let's try.
No, we are just
Oh. Okay, that's really
Can we continue?
downloads. That.
Can we proceed?
the battery.
Should be at the top.
Come on,
Long day.
The fact that somebody was calling me there, can you check this?
Brings me to this still again.
Calling you.
And somebody needed assistance.
On the chat.
No,
On the chat.
physical.
Physical.
Please, Augustine.
Yes, sir.
Can I have a session?
Okay, please just hold on a minute.
Yes.
No, not you. Yeah, you just downloads. But I think what's the issue? It's a link file that is showing screen. Link folder.
This same issue. Come on, that's the same issue. I've been acting off throughout. Same system error.
No, you said we should go to that document you shared with us. I should click on R. I've clicked on R. So what else? I don't seem to. Just R. Then there are so many folders under it. So what next?
Don't click on R.
Click on what?
Open the folder that I shared.
Yes, I've opened it. The folder you shared.
Then you are clicking on this last file, 6 Nigeria 2026.
The one with 6 LLM is. Okay, I've clicked on it. So what else should I do?
You can share your screen also.
Is it okay? I think that's fine. Maybe share your screen.
Yeah, share your screen.
Okay. Okay, so this is where I am.
First extract this thing. extract it.
Where's your R?
It's still in the zip folder. Unzip
Okay,
it.
what should I now do?
Unzip.
How do I unzip? I should just right click and unzip. How do I
Okay,
unzip?
No.
go back to the download. Let us see it.
Remove your belt first.
Don't mind them. Go back to your download. Let's show you. For yeah, to your download
Okay,
folder.
it's my download. Okay. Okay.
First of all, hold on. First of all, delete this that one that you have. Delete it first. Wait,
This
no,
one.
don't like yes, delete it.
Okay.
So just right click your hand. Delete this one too.
Okay.
Yeah, the next one, delete it.
I think I have deep.
Yeah, delete it. Now let's work with this one. Don't delete this one though. Now right click.
Okay.
Right click.
I have.
Although
I have.
Press escape. Oh, don't worry. No, Anna. Extract all. Click on extract all.
Extract all. Okay. So, what next?
It's not yet extracted.
No. I think
I clicked extract all.
I don't know something I saw.
Click on it again.
Let me be sure.
You know what? Just click the item Windows 11, right?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
What should I have right click? What should I do next?
Just double click on the file. Double click on the zip file. Double click on it.
Okay.
Okay, it has been
Okay.
extracted.
Yeah, sorry, it's okay. You don't need. Just
It has
click
been
on this.
extracted.
The folder.
It has been extracted. So what next?
Click on it. Yes.
Click on this second one now.
This second one. Try a
You
second
want to
one.
ask main. You want to ask main. Seek Nigerian main.
Yeah.
Okay, this one.
Where is your cursor? Bring your cursor.
This one.
After the one below the folder you
This
extracted.
Sir, what
Okay, data.
So
That's what is below the data. That's what is below the data extracted. Oh, is data. Can you see my screen?
Hello.
Hello.
hello,
Is it this one
hear
that has
you.
data?
The screen. What you are seeing your screen is your download folder. Can you hear me? Hello. Hello.
Tolu, click on the
Hello.
folder now. Tolu, click on the second folder.
This one that has to do with data.
That means I've opened it, but we are not seeing it. Share your screen and share it again. We are not seeing it.
George.
Okay.
Open source,
Share it again.
not this information. Are you trying to install conjunctive open source? Yes, the open source, the first one.
Yeah, let us do.
Share your entire screen.
Okay, I've shared it.
Yes.
Okay, so that was the problem. So Mr. Joseph can take over from here.
Click on that. Yes. Are you sure you have? Right. Click on this particular file. Right. Click on it. Let's see. Right. Click.
So that's what Prof was having yesterday. That was the issue Prof had yesterday.
Right
That
click, okay. Click on open with.
that thing is cran. That R stuff is cran. C-R-A-N. Yes. C-R-A.
Cran is
Can't see,
in
I
that's the
can't see
thing.
anything here.
I guess it's still loading. George, what they are clicking on there is
Are
different.
you sure you have R Studio and R in your system? Are you sure you've installed it?
Project.
Yes.
It's not the house script.
Okay, close this. Let me just see the R Studio. I think that will see everything.
Okay.
Share your entire screen, not just particular. Click when you are sharing, share your entire
And
screen.
yes.
Or delete the extracted and then you re-extract it.
I don't want me to share my entire screen at once. So
That's the first one you are clicking on. When you click on share, you see entire screen. Then you see application windows.
Yeah, R. Yeah, both. Let me finish.
I think the issue might be both players now. The issue of
No, if you use it,
the
you
file.
have to remove it. Yes, play.
Can you see my screen now?
Close the
It's
tab.
just on
This time.
Yeah, just close it at time.
let's see.
Okay.
Let's see.
Then we can see.
Oh my God. Okay. Oh shit. Who was I calling?
Okay, where's the R? No. You're not using this. You're downloading R in your machine. No. You're not. You're downloading R in your machine.
Okay, now I think on the command. Yeah,
Go to your downloads. Go to your downloads.
I opened it the other time. I don't know.
You are yet to install.
Okay.
It has three interfaces
Go back.
like this.
Go back to the
That's three
previous
interfaces.
one before you get.
Hey,
Yes.
Don't worry. Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Joseph, I think the link to the zip file has a little different content.
Nope.
The one that one does not have the one that has end with PROJ.
We don't have our folder is somehow
Sometimes
you have it required.
I think this one.
Like a workstation.
Please let me download.
You know why I asked? Because if you can, my cousin was in the same school now. So that government college, and she was yes, the number.
Go to this. Let me quickly show people.
The VPN like where is it?
How should I click on that? No talk. I beg, I know there.
If I were you, I would tell you, you know why? Whenever they see you, whenever they see you, they say, okay, they're rich.
How come?
Because when you don't get involved in the private sector, you say, it's kind of.
Which group is it? I sent it to you.
Mr. Augustine,
Yes.
I think someone needs your help online. One of the online participants needs your help. I think Benovia, right?
Yes, I'm trying to look through the folder that we are using. I think there's a little different.
Oh, okay.
If you go to the website, it was the former something. I love the one thing. Yeah, simplicity. And yeah, yeah, not overdoing things like let's say you are possible no saying things.
Yes. What you said something.
So just compare their person and
But he's still doing something. Are we good?
it's not because have you opened album? The steps.
Are we on the same page?
Oh, that for me.
I'm asking, have you downloaded R and R Studio? You didn't respond to my question.
The thing is loading. It has to, we open it down since morning. So I went back to it.
Which R Studio are you using?
It's saying preparing projects. Still loading. It doesn't really take this long. It has three interfaces, connected faces like this. So I'd opened it.
You are not using server, you're using R Studio desktop, not server.
Our Studio desktop. So how do I get to
Not
the
server.
desktop with that?
Download it.
Oh,
You're not using server, you're
our
using
Studio
desktop.
server. Oh, I didn't know.
You're using desktop, not server. R Studio desktop, not
So I
server.
should use our Studio desktop. How do I get to the our Studio desktop?
Download it. Download R Studio.
Show me ours. No, you cannot open
Our
ours.
Studio desktop.
Let's
So I
open
think
ours.
Okay, our Studio desktop.
You have to open the house. You open the house.
so. Can we quickly run
This
through
guy is not. That is the house. This house will not. This guy is not working. Before. Have you downloaded it now? You get down. Let's. Okay, can we try to download it? You open it from your. Which one is that? Before that, download. This is it. This is fellow. Yeah. It's still the same thing.
For this guy,
Dr. Sam, please come. You want zero.
Yes. Okay, you don't download the app.
yeah.
Let's
I know you don't.
take them.
Wait, when you want to say?
Let's
No, more.
come on from there.
Knowledge is it.
The question is, did you extract it properly?
Yes.
Let's go back.
This is extracted from.
Okay, thank you. It's downloading now. Now Studio Desktop. Downloading. I didn't know. I thought it was a server.
Yeah.
Yes.
Extract from.
Yeah, maybe that's that was the problem.
Yeah.
You want to bring it up.
I can remove it flash now. Yeah.
Extract from. Yes.
When I come back. No, I'll send it down.
I don't think
Please send them.
They don't the phone group.
Let me see. Send the message.
Send the phone group.
Look for it.
From where?
Yeah, identify my name.
Huh?
Yeah, identify my
They're
name.
not on the platform.
Eh?
They're not on the platform.
Are they doing that now?
I'm checking.
I saw what you posted now. The groups.
Is it that because the R is not updated?
I don't think so.
I mean, I'm trying to update it.
I just sent it.
You will know. I'll click on that.
one will cost $100 billion.
You will click on.
That means
No, you
that
like
means
Tom-Tom.
he extract.
Wait, one candy.
I like sugar.
One gum.
No, thank you.
Thank you. So you like sugar?
That means why? That means
Sometimes the WhatsApp. No?
This is a new one.
Give us that income. Who wants to?
farm. Farm, go around.
Okay, don't bother.
Even me, even the video. You guys both put to you. You have your implement text. It's a okay to paper.
Dr. Bibi. You just call in now. You just call in now. Dr. Bibi. Up and now. You don't do it with it. Have you extracted your file? You don't unzip.
She did start. She is in your colleague now.
Are you?
Dr. Baba said. She is the customer.
No, you okay now. Dr. Bibi, please, she'll be part of your team. Do that at home.
Sometimes I don't you drop the
You are the head. You are the group lead. Yeah, please add her to. Can you go back to you guys are different contact. So add it to. This is one divided by 4 cannot. It cannot go. Carry one here, put it here. Five, eight. The reason why I'm saying you can join in every day. I get to work.
This one is not about
1 year. No. Let me see. Five good.
Yes. In this hand twice, right?
No, but we have to help. I complimented already.
what this guy did. He had to explain the folder and then open the folder. You did what?
You have
to the folder.
I've checked
Like,
it.
extracted after the
That's why you're not.
you then open it from there.
Thank you for letting me know the
Let me update it.
I like the way you have to start paying the.
Like 100 naira.
I think for 75.
You go say hand out there.
I can say that.
You will want money.
Not for you.
The law of break.
Certain participants, are we on break?
No, we're not on break.
So like
Okay.
He's the one who asking us. No, we're not on break now. We can continue.
Okay, Mr. Joseph.
We can continue.
Mr. Joseph, we can continue,
We
please.
can continue, please. Please, are we all on the same page?
Yes.
It's extracted, right?
Yes.
We have our file.
Okay, sir, we can continue. They're now done.
So one house, please.
The facilitator is saying 1 house.
Yes.
Let's have 1 house.
So we'll all have the R&R Studio installed, right?
Yes, sir.
We're able to open the R project, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So let's open, just click on the R folder. Is it the right? Is it right? Okay, right. Bottom right panel. So you click on this R folder. You see 00 setup. This should open this. Yeah. So I mentioned that is a good practice to have instead of having it's cleaner, right? So you have different scripts which are related. If you are doing multiple analysis, you can have a central or a setup script where you set up your directory, you set up your packages that you'll be using across board. So you don't need to install anytime you are opening a script. So you have a central so that you can just link it to the scripts. So what I did was instead of installing every time, so there's this Pacman package which does that for you. It actually checks if you have this package, you don't need to download it. You just install. You just you just load it. If you don't have it, it will install, then load. So instead of installing every time you open the scripts, it will check, does this package exist in your R? If no, you install. If it does, you just install. So this is just basically what we did here. We specified the package you'll be using. So we're using tidy text. Tidy text is for text analysis. Basic. So that's where you have your stop word. You have white R. What R is for determining the copiers. You have your functions, copiers function there. Dplyr is you have dplyr, you have tidyr, you have stringr for manipulating strings or text. You have readr. Readr is for importing different data sets types. You have table. Table is for generating uh table. You have beautiful tables, right? ggplot2 is for graphic analysis. Scales, you have quant data is for uh topic modeling, right? You have igraph also for plotting for. Are you saying something?
Yes, I am with you.
Okay, so you have idgraph, you have ggraph, you have stm for is structural topic modeling. Elma is for calling the model you are using. HDR is to clean, just to import the text. Wikipedia, that's what you use to import the Wikipedia article. Then you have JSON like same thing. Then you have patchwork. So you import it. So we'll be using seed so that we have uniform outcome. So I'm setting a seed right here. We'll be using across several scripts. So I'm setting the script 2026. There is no, you can put it, you can write anything as a script. You can say, mama, I can put anything as a script. So what you just do after saving it, you just point, anytime you want to use a seed, you just point it to SEED as your seed. So you have uniform. So you specify which model you are using, which LLM model you are using. You can either use LLM 3.1 or 3.2. But then you have to first pull the Olama. You have to download Olama. Then you have to from Olama the what was it called? Your terminal. Sorry, your system after downloading Olama, for your system terminal, you have to pull and download uh Lama 3.12. Just copy this and put in your. So when I say terminal, this terminal, terminal. So this is very. So just space this. But you have to first download Olama first. So if you want to use Olama 3.1, just Olama pull 3.1, and that's all. If not, you won't be able to use that. I guess that's that for that. Then you have to specify which article and you can specify which article you are using. So we are using Nigerian Civil War the article. You can change it to NSAS, but you have to ensure that that's the article name in Wikipedia. It doesn't not making up news. So if I copy this, let's see. So see the name, Nigerian Civil War. So I'm copying the exact title as appears in Wikipedia. Let's say NSAS protests. NSAS protests. This is what I'll be using, NSAS, not NSAS protests. If I want to use this here, I'm using NSAS, not NSAS. If I use NSAS protest, I'll get an error because such article name does not exist in Wikipedia. Same thing, Nigeria. You can either use Nigerian Wikipedia article, but then not you are not you mustn't specify the article here. I'm not saying it's a good practice that you have something, you're able to change it easily. Okay, if you want to change which article you're using, you can easily switch to and also so that we can have a uniform theme for our graph. So I specify this also as well. Yeah. So the first thing you do is to first extract your article. Uh, I guess you are familiar with pulling article and cleaning article. Uh, I think that's what the last session did. I may be wrong, but then you put article from Wikipedia. To pull article from Wikipedia, I I wrote a function, but it's based on HTTPR package. So it's in the OTS package. So basically, just how to clean, just to clean it. So we have a structured text. So if you open your article, if you open the article, you see some, maybe you see HTML tags, which you don't need. So you need to clean it to remove it before you can use for analysis. So that's what we did here, right? So first, we specify our article name. We are using this to case the Y is in the string R package. We To string lower, to lower, sorry, we convert everything to lower case. Everything, all the text is being converted to lower case. There's nothing that is in sentence case or in capital letter. But then, yeah, so using the article name. Here, we don't need to specify which article. We already specified in our setup. You can easily change that to any article name and it won't affect this code. All you just need to do is just to run it and you get your results. So if I run this, so this is the article. If I run this, I think there's some card to specify. Let's go happen. So I specify the, so this is fetching from Wikipedia, Nigerian Civil War. So specify which article we are fetching. So how many characters are in it? We have 93,572 characters in the Wikipedia article
Hello, Sir David. Hello, Mr. David. Mr. David.
I'm with you.
Please, sir, I think maybe we just understand you are trying to help me understand the different section of the code. But you've mentioned a lot of important things that I think many of them.
So we've already specified the article we want to work with, right? We already specified the
To
article.
initiate it or install it. So I don't know if you can just allow everybody quickly do that. Then you have
Yeah.
also mentioned.
Everybody just run, just click on this 01, Control A, select all, then hold down your Control and Enter key to run everything. Or you can select all, then click on this run. Or you can run it line by line. Either one works.
I would have loved us to run line by line.
So if I run line by line, so
Mm.
this source, I mentioned that you have a source setup. That's what this does. You have a setup. You don't need to specify everything in this. Using source, we call everything that is in this setup. So you don't need to specify which package, whatever. And just click on this. Control plus enter. Control plus enter. We run everything that you have in your setup.
Enter or you align and click run.
If you're using Windows key, Windows.
Sir, please let's start from that command prompt. Let's start from the command prompt. Can you open your command prompt? Let everybody start that LLM first, the model. So please, everybody, open your command prompt. Those online, please, are you opening your command prompt?
Oh, we're not going to do that today, right? First, you need to download Olama. It's about 2 gig. I don't know if anybody have downloaded that.
Okay.
Huh?
Olama is not installed. Yes, so you can do it now.
So if you install it won't work. After installing the Olama, that's when you now install the modem. So here, your
Okay, so we'll just follow through. Olama is the model that you are teaching on how to answer questions. You see that you copied an article from Wikipedia, then you pasted it in the. Let me see if I can direct you by the line of code. Okay, look at line 66 of the code. First of all, line 64. After you had downloaded the 3 gig Olama application, 64. So if you don't call it, whatever you have installed is useless. This is when you are finally using it. Now that you have called it, what will this model do for you? So you need to from. So from line, though it has been commented out, from line 68 down to okay, we have different articles here though. But you see that if okay, So you see that he copied the articles and pasted it for the language to understand. Then he went on with the other part of the codes as much as he wants.
Let me take this. Let me take
Sir,
this.
Sir David, is it just the title you copied or the entire article?
Let me. Okay, this is what. This is a setup. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
This is a set of scripts. You are not running any this thing here. Just to set up your working directory. If you open the R project file, you don't need to set up any directory. It will point to this current directory. After doing that, after doing the gymnastic around directory, the next thing is package installations. Which package are we going to use? We specify everything here. We're using Pacman to determine which package you have. If it exists, it will install. It will load it. If it doesn't exist, it will download and install, including its dependency packages. That's what this line does from 34 to 50, 51. That's all. So from 52 to 79, it specifies the shade settings. So for settings, you have seed. You need seed to have a uniform outcome. So if you don't specify the lead, for instance, if you don't specify
Sorry,
the,
network issues.
can you hear me? If you don't specify the seed, when you run an analysis now, when you rerun it again, you might end up getting. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes,
Can
we
you
can
hear me?
hear you.
So when the reason why I'm specifying this seed is that so you can have the same results when you run it multiple times. If not, you end up having different results across different sessions. So that's why we have this seed. Here we specify which LLM model we are using. We are using Llama 3.2. We are using Llama 3.2.3. Sorry, 3.2. But I say before you can use this Llama, this model, you have to ensure you download Llama first, which I specify in the setup guide. After downloading the Llama, that's when you now in your after ensure you download it and install. There's let me go through here. So then oh, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So this is it. You download Llama for Windows. It's about 2 gig, I think. So after downloading, you install. Then your shell in your terminal, just open your search this thing in your system, not R Studio now. In your system, just search terminal. Command prompt to come up. The command prompt to come up. So what you are pasting is Llama pool Llama 3.2. If you want to use Llama 3.1 instead, you use Llama pool 3.1.
But you can't do that now because you don't have it.
So after that, you just click enter. Then you see this is about 4.9 gig. That's Llama 3.1. But if you want to use Llama 3.2 instead, it's 2 gig. So you see, I already have it, so I don't need to. If you don't have it, you start downloading it. So you need internet connection to do that. So I guess that's clear.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So so for here we specify which article we are using. So the reason why I said instead of going back and forth specifying which article to use, so you can just specify it here generally before going to the other scripts. You can change this. Nobody's saying you have to use Nigerian Civil War. You can have to use it to you can change it to NSAS. But whatever article you're using, ensure you're using the title, the Wikipedia title. Right now, if you write NSAS protests, you not get any result because there's no Wikipedia article that exists with this title. What exists is NSAS. For Nigerian Civil War, if you say Nigerian Civil War, Nampo bracket, Biafra War, you will not get any because no Wikipedia article have this title. You have to first ensure that you check and write the title as it is being written. So here, what we just did is just specify the theme, sort of have a uniform graph. That's what we did here, right? So going to 0, 1, this one is to get the article. Basically, that's what this script is for. We extract to pull and to claim the Wikipedia article. So you see here we just say source brackets. This is this what we are saying here is that hey R, what we have here, whatever we have here, install it or pull it out, load it for us in this script. If you remember in the 00 setup, we have the package installation and loading. We have the general setup for the seed. We specify the model we are using. We also specify which article title we are using. So everything here will be specified. What is here is a general, it's just a function I adapted to make, instead of having writing multiple of, of, of functions here. So I've written all the functions here, which are about, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I'm with you.
So I wrote different functions which make cleaning easy. So there are some cleaning which you might need some additional cleaning which the package can't undo. So you might have to do uh, some additional adjustment. So across grids, these are the functions that are being used. So how does function work? Function. So for instance, you have this G sub is in the base R package. You don't need to install it. But then what is doing if I'm not comfortable with it and I want an additional this thing? That's where you have functions. So basically you're telling you are creating a function. You are creating a function which is only usable in your in your scripts. When you in your script here, you are specifying this is they call it user specified function. Yes, this user specified is not in the package I install or anything. This is based on your taste, what you want. So for instance, this fetch Wikipedia doesn't exist in any package. So this is self-written. So what it does is it's a request using HTTR package to request for Wikipedia API, request the URL to query the the title, then the request user agent. All these functions are in the HTTR package, but then there's additional stuff that you wanted to do which doesn't exist in that particular package. So those are what are being different user written functions are here in this OTs. That's why we also call OTs. If we don't call OTs, we can't be able to use for instance, we can't use get Wikipedia, fetch Wikipedia function. We can't use it. That's why we load setup, 00 setup, and we load ots.r. So I guess we clear that out. So what we do here is we want to create is it an R folder. So instead of having, you can save an R file as, for instance, Nigerian Civil War. You need to put an underscore, right? So that's what we just did here, just to add an underscore. So instead of having Nigerian Civil War, instead of having Nigerian, okay, look at example. Instead of having the Nigerian general election, it becomes 2023 underscore. So you're able to save it as a file. And that's what we did here. So this section is to download the Wikipedia file. So we have the raw file, we try to fetch it. So if you click on this, let me click on this. So everything that's on the other side come up here. So here, create slug, where's slug. So create an object called slug. It's a character or string. So you see it here. You have Nigerian underscore civil war. This is the title of the. Yeah, I'm with you.
Hello, Mr. Joseph.
Yeah, I'm with
Yeah,
you. I can hear
we
you.
lost our in-house participant. We had
Oh,
power failure at our location. Yeah, so you might just have to give
that's
them a
good.
minute to connect back up.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you
okay.
very much.
Thank you. LLM does not find the theme. LLM does not find the theme. You use STM, structural topic model, to find the themes, but you use LLM to determine the themes, right? So what did model actually do? So in knowledge graph, counting, as I mentioned, counting does not determine relationship or give direction. It's a model that produces that information. So in team, it's for convenience. So you have topic model, you have the model to determine a team. But then, as I mentioned in knowledge graph, that you don't rely on model, you have to still also verify whatever the output is. So okay, I think the chart I showed you, what does it show? The article change. What is it about? So the narrative of war. So over the year 2005, there was no involved. There was no in the article, which the article did not mention about maybe France involvement in I think through the Doctors Without Borders. I don't know if everybody is aware. Doctor Without Borders came as a result of the Biafra War. Yeah, so maybe it was not mentioned there. Maybe it was in 2014 that it was mentioned. So there will be a spike in that. So you see, as that thing, it's not as if it's the same article, but if you know how Wikipedia works, it changes um, over time based on the inclusion, addition, inclusion, exclusion, deletion, and what have you, based on the narrative, based on, can see the editors. So what my mean is that an encyclopedia article is not a fixed record. What the subject is taking, what the subject is taking to be about shifts as editors, sources, and attention shift. Perhaps there was no information about French involvement or Israeli involvement 2005. If it was in 2015 that it uh, was that the information was introduced, right? So there will be a spike in that particular team of international involvement. So, but what does not show is that a jump in 1 year is often a restructure, a section added, merge or the right. So you have to read the revision before calling it change in framing. So four things to take away. Merge the data to the question. So if you want to observe changes in theme over the years, you're not using a knowledge graph, you're using a topic model. So it is your topic or the question you want to answer that will determine which graph or approach you are using. So schema is very important. A schema turns a conversation into a data. Without schema, you have an unstructured text. The prompt is part of the method. So you have to ensure your prompt is very correctly stated. So check before you trust. These are some materials which I think might be relevant. I think that's that. But in your free time, you can run everything, run all the scripts from 1 to 9. You don't need internet for it, right? Because I already saved it in the cache folder. So for instance, let's say the co-occurrence, plot here. Here is it, you have it here. You can make some adjustments. For instance, you can adjust the hedge, right? That's the number of occurrence. You can change it to 10, for instance. It also adjusts how it appears. So you see, changing the edge, we have few co-occurrence here. So you can change it. I think I specified that you can also work on that. If it's one, you see it's clustered, confusing to work with. I changed the edge to one, you see it's clustered. Very few, the edges are very difficult to determine. So these are flexible. I specify the minimum edge is the knob to adjust. You can read it. Yeah. So for LLM extraction, I mentioned about schemas. Maybe I just point out quick. So this is schema. Specify the entity. So you have entity here. You specify. It's like you are discussing because you are discussing with the model. Specify okay the entity that is written in the article. You specify it. You give it the meaning that you want. You don't bring anything out. Then with the type, it should be person. You need an entity, but the entity should be a person, place, or organization. You specify both as string. So for a relation, I think we have entity, we have relation, and we have object. So for entity, you specify the entity the statement is about. So for instance, short, you don't need to tell us a long, you make it very brief. And yeah, these are schemas. These are schemas, and this is where you call, yeah, these are schemas. These are you place your prompt. You see as I write my prompt here. Can you see my screen?
Yes, you can see your screen.
So in R, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so these my prompts. These are for the Nigerian Civil War. I say, okay, focus on what people or persons level side
Sorry,
or
please. Your voice is quite low. I don't know if it's just on my end.
sorry, I'm using an earpiece, so I guess that's the problem.
Okay.
Okay, so for the prompt, I specified the prompt focus on which people or persons led which side, organizations or group, which Nigerian region, state or cities were involved on which side, which countries or bodies or groups supported, supplied or mediated the events that happened, who won, who lost, the victims of the war, what are the casualties. So I specify multiple prompts based on the article. So if you are working based on this, if you are working with, if you change your in 001, if you change it from Nigerian Civil War to NSAS, this is the prompt that we work with. It won't work on. That's why I say you can't use one prompt for multiple for multiple articles or documents. You have to specify anytime. And this I guess the schema, you also have to tweak the schema as well, depending on the article you are working with. Sorry. So yeah, that's the prompts. Then you call uh the model. So I think is what I mentioned this, right? So if you have a model to run through an article, you might end up getting a very few relation. So what I did was to just go by passage, right? So I break it down to 4 passages. Then you have 300 characters per passage. So that will make it so I can get better relationship. And this is a prompt you call the yeah, this is a prompt. You specify, you give it better information. You ensure that it will focus on the entities. You should not include anything that is not in the if you didn't specify this, if you didn't spell it out, these are the rules. Sorry. If you don't specify the rules, it might end up hallucinating, bringing information that doesn't exist in the passage or the documents. Yeah. So that's that. I guess maybe I can run through the last one.
Okay.
Yeah, I think similar. Let me just label or let me do this. Topic model. Yeah, these are the models from the article. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, so you have 6 topics. You see different labels. We'll focus on the frequency, the flex. Yeah. So you have to read it, understand, okay, what is the central, what is the word that's captured, what is the theme that captured this frequently occurring words. But with LLM, it will automatically determine that. I guess, and I think that should wrap it up.
Okay. Wow. Man, how you even achieved, as in how you were able to compress all of this to within your time frame or just some minutes after, it's a miracle on its own, because I know what you have just delivered here. So we sincerely appreciate. Am I muted? Okay. We sincerely appreciate the energy that you have put together. One thing I appreciate so much about Joseph is that he's very professional about his job delivery. He has worked with a lot of professional organizations within and outside Nigeria. So you can imagine him labeling the codes in a sequential order. So that makes it very much easier for us to follow after now. There are a lot of implementations that he has done in each of those codes. That he has created labels, he has created variables, he has created frames, which many of you will still have to go back to Prisbill videos to understand and identify frames. Else, you just be using the same code, but you don't know the logic behind all of it. So he has done so well. We thank you very much. And producing a knowledge graph is one thing that many people just don't just do on their own. You hardly find it in research papers. I don't know for our scholars. I'm sorry, Professor, you're also here. I don't know how often do you find knowledge graphs in your output. So you can imagine in our research in-house here, if we can include knowledge graph to whatever we are doing, is a big one. So thank you very much, Mr. Joseph. We really appreciate. We will always contact you. I don't think do we need a supporting video for this?
Yes, we do.
Oh, Mr. Joseph, there's an
Yes,
humble request here.
we need,
Would you,
please.
Mr. Joseph, do you mind giving us another video for recap? Do you mind? Hello, Mr. Joseph.
Supporting video as in, I didn't get that.
Like just another maybe short video, 30 minutes or 1 hour video to go through the code, primarily the code, not the theory part. To go through the code, just do each of those things that you would have expressively done yourself here. Do you
Okay,
mind doing that?
that's fine. That's fine. Let me see.
Okay,
But
okay. Okay, sir. Thank you very much. So we can call it a day
yeah,
for at your end while we usher in the next facilitator. Thank you very much. Do have a
yeah,
great day.
thank you. Yeah, goodbye.
Yes. Online
Bye.
participant, I hope you are following through. I know it's not been easy with many of us here, but with more work on our side, after now we'll catch up with all that has been delivered to us. Thank you very much, online participants and in-house participants. So now we'll be having Dr. Rhoda introduce
Very much.
the next facilitator.